Hello everyone! We are filming once more inside just before a small hiatus. I can't walk properly because I hurt my ankle a couple of times and it really hurts when I walk. I just want to heal up before I go outside with all my equipment, and I only have like a very small hiatus. I already have a video for the end of January. As you can see, I'm at home with my cats. I will celebrate the new year today. It's the end of the year, it's literally the end of the year. And although this video is coming out at the 3rd of January, I want to wish you all a happy new year. I have a lot of things in store for the new year. Of course, with the pandemic going on, I don't know if everything is going according to plan. Also because I busted up my foot. But I have a couple of hints in the back. So about this year, I had so many positive feedback, I had so many positive things going on. Despite everything that happened, I broke my wrist, but I got a lot of videos for the mini beach walk episodes. I also reached over 100 subscribers, and that is really amazing. If you put this against other YouTubers, it's not that much, but I appreciate everyone. And secretly, this channel, Barbara de Visser, has been up since 2010, and I wasn't able to reach over 40 subscribers on that particular channel where I did all kinds of things. But this series, A Drop in Knowledge, something that actually makes me very happy to do, also granted me the goal that I had, that was to reach 100 subscribers. I talked about a lot of things this year. I talked about Flevoland, about ships, about history, but also things. But I also talked a lot about food. And one of the things that is really Dutch when it comes to New Year, Happy New Year, is this. They're oliebollen. Oliebollen, or oil balls, are a Dutch treat that is usually eaten at the end of the year. So first we have Sinterklaas with its own treats, then we have Christmas, and then it's New Year. We call it Oud en Nieuw, Old and New, and we eat these oliebollen. These are basically balls of dough that are put into the deep fryer, usually filled with raisins or currants, or a bit more like the fruity stuff, pieces of apple. And they are deep fried and then covered with powdered sugar, and it tastes delicious. Of course, because it's deep fried, it is quite a hefty meal, but it is a real tradition. You can get them in the supermarket, but you also get them at specialized stalls, oliebollenkramen. So these are little stalls that pop up everywhere where they have permission to pop up, and they sell oliebollen, appelflappen, appelbeignets, with all kinds of fillings. And I think recently they also sell churros, because it's also a type of dough that's deep fried. You can buy them hot, and when they're fresh they're the most delicious, but you can also eat them cold, and these are usually treated as quite a hangover breakfast after you had like New Year's celebrations. It's really sweet and really fat, so be careful. You can eat a lot of them, but it will really hurt your stomach. So oliebollen, or how they were first called oliekoeken, were first introduced in the 17th century. There's a cookbook that is from 1667, which has the first recipe for oliekoeken, basically oil cookies. But they were almost the same, maybe a bit more flat, but now they're just spherical. Be careful when you walk around with a plate of them, because they will fall off your plate. From 1993 until 2017, the newspapers held this big contest of who was making the best oliebollen. So all those little bakeries or the stalls that wanted to compete were subscribing to those contests, and then there were like pages in the newspaper about which Oliebol was the best. There were a couple of people who won it multiple times in a row. However, in 2018 it became clear that the writers of the articles were not the ones who tested the Oliebollen, and some things were a bit exaggerated. So yeah, it wasn't really fair, it wasn't really honest, the test, so they stopped it after 2018. A lot of people go a long way to get the best Oliebollen. If they know there's a stall that's making really good ones, there will be dozens until hundreds of people waiting in line to get Oliebollen. And because it's just dough made in a deep fryer, they can just wait for the new batch. So yeah, you can wait for up to an hour to get the right Oliebollen if you really are inclined to get the best ones. I usually get them from a baker. A lot of people make them themselves as well. The recipe is fairly simple. You have flour, yeast, some salt, some milk, and some baking powder. There are pre-made mixes available, but of course they're not as good as the recipes from your grandma. These, however, are just from the supermarket. With enough powdered sugar, they're tasty as well. I'm not sure how many I will eat of them though. They just look really fancy on the plate. The true lovers of Oliebollen really go out of the way to get the best ones, to get the best currants, to get the best stuff to get in there. But even though it's a very much loved treat, it is not often eaten outside of the New Year celebrations. The stalls pop up around October, November, when they're allowed to pop up, but after New Year's, those stalls are gone. And maybe they stand there for a week, but then they are gone. You cannot eat them, you cannot get them in supermarkets anymore. Sometimes they are at fun fairs, but not always. So they're really eaten around New Year's. So that's it for this time. I'm going on a small hiatus. As I said, I'm going to make some videos in the meantime. Hopefully my ankle will have healed up in that time, because one of the main reasons I started making these videos outside was for me to be going outside during the pandemic, and so I could visit things and have some energy to go outside again. So I will see you next year. Happy New Year. See you next time. Another time where I can go outside because I busted my foot. Like, it's twice the size of what it normally is gonna be. But, and and as you can see, I'm at home with my cats, and as you can see, I'm and although I oh my god, go! You little attention seeker there. I think I will adjust that again. Could you stop? Also, I want more powdered sugar. You thought I was gone, huh? So, the powdered sugar gets in my lungs.